Okay, now I'm going to cover this idea of locality, the principle of locality. This can be split into two principles, spatial and temporal locality. What spatial locality is closeness in space. What that means is if you access some given data, you're probably going to want to access its neighbors as well. Okay, so for an example, an array. If you're accessing an array at index 5, you're probably going to want to access index 6 and index 7 as well, right? And then the same can be applied to machine instructions. If you're accessing some program counter at I don't know, 16, you're gonna want to access the PC at the program counter at 20, and then 24 and 28 and so on, because remember we're always incrementing the program counter by 4. At least in the MIPS data path, we are. This is where the idea of having cache memory operate on entire blocks of memory as opposed to just one thing, right? So let's say that you're accessing an array at index 0. You're not just going to load index 0 into your cache, because chances are you're going to want to access index 1 and index 2 and index 4 as well. So instead of just loading index 0 into your cache, you're going to want to access a block of data containing index 0 all the way to index 4 or 8 or whatever your cache block allows. Okay? Now, in terms of temporal locality, what that is closeness in time. What that means is if you access something once, you're probably going to access it again later in the future. For this, it'd be good to think about loop counters, temporary variables. So like in terms of loop counter, where you have your for I equals 0, I is less than size I plus plus, that I is something that you're going to be accessing over and over and over again. Okay, so that's something you want your frequently accessed data to be kept in your cache for fast access.